Hi, I'm at home today, been waiting for a delivery, been itching to get up to the allotment and get stuff done actually, but I haven't been able to. I've had to stay because the delivery was coming in the middle of the day, and so I've had to stay in and there's no point going now. So I thought I would tell you a little bit about what's been happening this week. So we've got quite a lot done. I'm really pleased with the progress we've made. We've made some good progress at the allotment, which I'll show you a bit later on. And I've organised this greenhouse and it is so nice. It's so much better than it was, and I'm going to take you back a few days in time and show you that in a second as well. But first I want to show you this. Look at this guy. This is whoever is living under our borders. We caught them in action on camera, obviously. Not caught them. I'm hoping it's a mole. What do you think? We never actually saw him or her, and I wasn't sure if they were still there because we're not getting the damage to the borders that we got last year, but it's early days yet, so who knows what's going to happen when those root systems grow. Things are a little bit slow to grow this year, but that's just because I think we've not had any rain for ages. I have been watering, but not very regularly, I suppose. But yeah, so what do you think he is? Tell me he's a mole. There's no molehills. There are no molehills, but there are tons in the field just behind the house, so I don't know. Let me know what you think he is. Also, this week I'm going to take you to my parents' house because their garden is beautiful and it's really at its best in spring, so I thought I'd show you around. I'm going to do another video showing you around in a few weeks because they've got a beautiful wisteria that will be out soon. Mine, excitingly, has been in flower this week. It's just going over now, but I'm so happy that after 5 years of having it, it's actually flowered and it looked really lovely. Unfortunately, because I've been organising the greenhouse, the day that it was at its best, I did pile a load of rubbish in front of it. But you know what? You can't win them all. You can't make an omelette without cracking a few eggs, can you? So last week, I went along to the allotment and spent a couple of hours there. And I ended up leaving early because it was so hot. But this is how it was looking that day. Hi! It is the 30th of April today, the last day of April, and it is a warm one. Yesterday was the hottest day of the year so far, and I think today is going to surpass that, to be honest. So I have quite a lot of jobs to get done. Not sure which I'm going to start with, but let's go start. So in my last video, I tried to show you, but it didn't work. The camera didn't film. That I just took the tops off of the weeds here to knock them back, but honestly you can't really tell that I've done anything, or you can around here, but there's so much weeding to get done, so much bindweed coming back, willow herb, buttercup, poppies everywhere. Poppies, I'll be able to knock them back, no problem. Yeah, things are doing okay, but things look very dry, so I'm going to give everything a really good water. So a lot of the footage that I took last week didn't work very well, so I didn't get to show you that I just planted out the spring onions and they're doing alright. I sowed the carrots. Obviously the carrot bed doesn't look particularly good for carrots, but you know what, we've got what we've got and we'll do what we can. That's all we can do. This one is looking alright. All the weeds that some of the weeds I've missed and some that I've recovered, but yeah, so I'm going to give this another good water because this weather, it's so dry. This bed is desperate to be weeded. I think this one, Mark's going to come up after work, I think, and he's going to cut the grass, so I'll have a nice edge here to get that done. This bed really needs weeding. This is the pea and bean bed, and I need to put a support in for these peas because they're growing really well now. So I need to get some supports in. These are dwarf. These are called the Sutton. So they're a dwarf broad bean. So they're not going to get a lot taller. You can see that they're actually flowering now. So this is definitely a bed I want to get done today. And we'll see how we get on from there. So my plot neighbour ended up being there. So I didn't want to film too much. And I just ended up staying for an hour because it was so warm. So I did get that bed weeded. And it looked a lot better. Mark then a couple of days later came along and cut the grass, which also made it look a lot better, but it still needs to be edged, and I want to dig it over. I want to get some organic material on. I've got some manure, I'll probably get that on, or some compost, ready for when the weather warms up a little bit and I can get some annuals there. Some of the ones that I've grown myself, like calendula, nigella, amimagus, and then I'll probably buy some things like I haven't got any antirrhinums or snapdragons, and I'll probably buy some more cosmos because I've got some, but they're very leggy and they're a bit weedy, so I'm not sure if they're going to do much, so I want some more as well, some nice sturdy plants. But because it was too warm, I decided to go and visit my parents, and I'll show you their garden now. I've just popped up to my parents' house, and I thought you might like to see their garden because it is absolutely lovely. It is definitely at its best in spring. If only that pear tree could flower at the same time as everything else, but the California lilac's looking lovely, the ceanothus. It looks really nice next to the Photinia. And you've got this copper beech above, which at the moment is a really nice colour, and it's nice and sparse. In a few weeks it'll get really dense and deep copper coloured. Here we go, look. Everybody seems to love this plant. As we come down here, we've got a wisteria there, which is really lovely, and will look its best soon. Now we'll do another video when it is fully in flower. And we've got a huge rambling rose here, and there's a Clematis montana Rubens growing in it that's really lovely as well. Got a cute little seating area under it there as well, which has a nice little view. I'll show you that in a second. But yeah, Clematis montana Rubens, and it looks beautiful at the moment. Come back and show you how it's looking. Really nice. We've got some Japanese anemones underneath. We've got a Gertrude Jekyll rose there as well, which is about to come into flower. That's lovely. I love the smell. I've got one in my garden growing up the arch in the front garden, but it's very small and it's not really doing much yet. Hopefully this year will be its year. So this is the nice little seating area, which has a lovely view out onto the garden. These parts here, these borders at the front, are newly planted up. So they're looking nice. They'll fill out a lot though as well. So they're looking lovely. Oh, we've got some rhubarb in there. Now they were going to move the pond, because there's the pond that I'll show you in a second. But this is where it was going to go. So they've dug it all out, but now they've changed their mind. And they're keeping the pond where it is, so need some more soil and a nice opportunity for planting. Let's have a look down at the pond, towards the pond area. Got a beautiful Acer here, which is really lovely. We've got a lovely arch here with some jasmine growing up it. They've planted a clematis at the base as well, but it's very new. There's another angle of the Acer there. Really nice. And we've got a nice little patio area here with the pond. We've just got some new fish for the pond. That big guy's been here a while, but he's got some new little friends. It's looking lovely. Yeah. I keep asking if they feel like swapping houses, but unfortunately they don't. I don't really blame them, to be honest. I really do love my parents' garden, but sometimes when I've been there and I come home to my little garden, I feel a little bit underwhelmed by it. But then I have to remind myself of just how much I really do love this space. You know, before I moved here, I didn't have a garden. We didn't even have a yard or anything. We had a doorstep, literally a doorstep. And, you know, I remember how it felt to not have any outdoor space, and I'm so grateful to have this garden. And it is a really nice little garden. It's got beautiful views at the back. it's a great space, and seeing my kids play out, hanging my washing out and doing my gardening, those are the things I really want from a space, and that's something that this space gives me. Now this space gives me anxiety because look at the state of it. So that's what we're working on today. So I'm going to get all of the plants out. The problem being is that I've got so much stuff in there that I really don't have room for any more seedlings, and the weather is going to turn colder, so I really need to get the tender plants that have been enjoying the last few days' heat and get them back in the greenhouse so that they can survive the next few days of cold weather that we're due. So we're going to fill up this little garden with a lot of junk. I know my garden isn't large, but how are the contents of a 6 foot by 8 foot greenhouse filling it? There's so much stuff in here. I'm very over this now. Very over this. So this is how it's looking now. Obviously you're on a wide lens, it's not as big as it looks. But that is, it's about 5'6" long. And yeah, so that's going to go there. And then here I'm going to have, I can't decide which way around I'm going to have it. I think actually I've changed my mind, because my original plan was to have my IKEA potting bench here and then another of the racking sets here. But I think actually what I will do, because this is to the north, so this is a south facing wall of the greenhouse, internal wall of the greenhouse, so I think it would be better to have 2 shelving units there so that they get more light. And so yeah, so what I will do is I will have my IKEA unit here, which will be kind of potting bench and storage, and then I'll have another, if it fits, well it should actually go there, but I actually do have the small unit that I got as a greenhouse in my bedroom still, where I was growing my aubergines and chilies. They're now too big for that and are on my dining table. So I do have a slim 60cm one. Now these flags are 60cm, so I don't think it's going to be necessary. I think I'm going to be able to fit a big one in here. So yeah, that's the plan. And yeah, let me show you all the stuff that came out of here then. So yeah, it's amazing to think that all this stuff has come out of that little greenhouse. They're my potting benches and one of my cats. Hey Stevie! So yeah, this is how they look, and so this one is going to stay and be the potting bench. Are you hungry? Are you just wanting to be on YouTube? And this one's going to go to the allotment. Now I might use this as a potting bench and I might plant it up as a herb storage thing, but yeah, all these plants, they need all good water actually. My dahlias are looking quite good, but they do need a bit of a water. Potted on a lot of seedlings yesterday, so obviously that takes up more space than the trays did. Yeah, everything needs a good water. So I'm just going to get on and then it'll be time to pick the kids up. Now as always, if you're not already subscribed, I would love it if you would subscribe and hit that bell notification button to be notified every time I upload. That's roughly once a week, depending on what life throws at us. And yeah, say hi in the comments and leave us a like. I cannot tell you how much it helps this channel to grow. The more of you interact with the video, even if it's just a like, I say just a like, or just a like is massive to us, and it really does help YouTube to show other people our videos, which helps us to interact with gardeners all around the world, which is exactly why I make these videos. So yeah, it would be really lovely. It's free to do and it helps us a lot. Thank you. Hi. A couple of days have passed and quite a lot has been done. Do you like my little nook? I've got my little corner to sit in. It's a little bit squashed, but I quite like it. I am loving how this greenhouse is looking at the moment. It is so spacious, but that's mainly because I haven't put everything back yet. The garden looks a mess. The wisteria was at its best yesterday and you couldn't see it for all the stuff that was in front of it, which is a bit of a shame, but I know it's there and I kept peeping at it, so yeah, it's fine. I still need to go through a lot of the things that need to come back in and organise them, but I've lots of space. The lower shelves on all the racking is going to be for storage rather than plants. And yes, I do have plenty of room. I just still need to go through all the little bits and bobs that we've got. And I am going to grow some aubergines, tomatoes, possibly peppers and cucumbers in here as well. Not many, just maybe 1 or 2 of each. And sort of dwarf varieties. The tomatoes I grow will be hanging basket varieties. The cucumber will be a normal cucumber plant, but the chilies and aubergines will be dwarf. Cayennetta and what's it called? Is it Baby Jack? The aubergine, Baby Jack, I think. I will put down there if I'm wrong. They're very small, prolific plants, so I'll probably have a couple on here and a couple of tomatoes, because we always get blight here. Always get blight on the hanging basket tomatoes. That being said, I've got, how many have I got? About 20, 19 I think I've got hanging basket tomatoes. So, you know, I might risk having some outside. We'll see. We'll see how many I need for the allotment as well. So, we've done quite a lot. Mark's pressure washed all the patio, so it looks much brighter out there. And he's been doing trips backwards and forwards with the things that were in here that I don't need here, and they've gone to the allotment. We're probably going to need a tip run as well for all the broken, damaged things that are not going to be much use to us anymore. But yeah, everything's looking good, and I've brought everything that's a few things that are tender have been outside overnight a couple of times in the week because the temperatures have been above 10 degrees. But we're back into a cold spell again now, so things like the zinnias and the tomatoes, cucumbers, courgettes, they're all back in the greenhouse now. So yeah, and 9.1 is the lowest temperature we've had in here, and that was last night. So but like I said, tomorrow's only forecast to be 10 degrees at most here, so you know that's not the best for tomatoes. I will show you around in a second. But I do think my tomatoes have got a little bit cold. I've got some bought ones, and I've got the ones that I mentioned that Brenda, one of our subscribers, gave me last week. They're all absolutely fine, but the seedlings, the little ones, I think they were out too early, too small to deal with it, but they're growing now. I've potted them on and that's made a difference. But the compost I've used, it's very, very fibrous. I'm not loving it. But anyway, tomorrow we've got a little bit of childcare. So Mark and I are going to go to the allotment, but first thing in the morning, he's going to go and get some wood chip. Now, the logistics of getting some wood chip delivered to us have put us off a little bit, and we don't really have time to go to the plot when the company can deliver the wood chip. So we've decided instead we're just going to bite the bullet and we're going to buy it in bags, ready bagged up, and we'll just do it gradually. Mark's been up today and he has laid some cardboard down on the weedy area because it's just getting worse. So we're just going to keep the cardboard down until we're ready to do it. Then we'll do some weeding and then we'll put the cardboard back down and fill it up, because we're not forecast any rain for at least a week again. We haven't had any for ages. It's been very, very dry recently, which is unusual. But yeah, so I'm looking forward to going tomorrow. So Mark's going to go to the garden centre and get the wood chip in the morning, and then probably take it to the plot, and then probably more towards lunchtime, the afternoon, we'll go up together and we'll get some jobs done. Want to finally get rid of the pallet collar bed, and very excitingly I have ordered the pond liner. It's a moulded one, so it's not like just the fabric liner, it's a proper moulded one. So yeah, we're gonna get that down, and but not this weekend, that's coming on Tuesday, so that'll be a job for another day. But I'm excited about that. I've never had a pond. It's very small. The whole pond liner is something like 85 centimetres by 65. It's only going to be little. It's about 50 litres, I think. So yes, it should be good though. So I need to look into what kind of oxygenators I'm going to need for a small pond, and all the bits of rock that we've dug up and the brickwork and stuff is going to be able to be used. But it's a nice little liner because it's got a slope and it's got access points, and I've got lots of like gravel and bits and pieces that I can use in there as well to make it, you know, a nice environment for the little creatures that want to live there. So yeah, I'm excited about that. So yeah, let's show you around, eh? I'll just finish my cuppa and then we'll have a look. So this is how it looks on wide angle lens now. It looks bigger than it is here, but yeah, so this is how it looks. Let me zoom you back in. Whee! So we'll start from left. So we've got zinnias here. They're looking okay. They're staying in their trays until they go out, as I've said. So they're going to be in here for at least another 3 weeks. If they start to look a bit pale, I will give them a light feed. This is an echinacea, but it's been in here for a few weeks now and I don't think it's going to do anything, but might as well leave it to see. We got some brassicas. I don't know why that little one looks so dry. Some brassicas. These are Asturian tree cabbage. I was so happy that these actually came because germinated, because they were really old seed. That one looks a bit iffy. Need to get that watered. But yeah, we've got all sorts of different brassicas. This is cauliflower, Brussels sprouts. We've got calabos, this beautiful purpley one. We've got ladero, which is a cabbage as well. Calabos is a cabbage. We've got calabrese, monclano. Then we've got some Welsh seedlings that my dad gave me that I still haven't done anything with. These are my leeks, multi-sown leeks. Yeah, they're looking okay, I suppose. Down here we've got the brassicas that I've grown for a friend in these terrible, terrible pots. I really need to pot these into something else actually. My dahlias, and yeah, they're looking good. This one's a bit big for this shelf. That one has been watered. I've been bottom watering them, and it just looks dry on top, but it is fine. So yeah, I'm excited to get those out, but it'll be a while off yet again. Then tomatoes. So these are my bought tomatoes. So I decided that although I'd grown all these fancy varieties, I did need some of the sort of staple ones that people grow. So we've got Gardener's Delight, Alicante, Moneymaker, Sun Baby. I've never grown Sun Baby before. Elsa Craig, and then Super Marinade, and this is, I believe, Sun Gold. That we've got some green fly on there. That Brenda gave me. Then we've got Brenda's cucumbers, which are La Diva. Yeah, so they're looking okay. I'll come on to here before I go down the shelves, because here we've got the rest of the tomatoes. So I've got Beefsteak F1 at the back there, that's a bought one. And then these three are the Crimson Cocktail. Is it Crimson Cocktail? Yeah, I think Crimson Cocktail, isn't it? That Brenda gave, and then the other two of her cucumbers. So let's skip back to down here. So we've got Cosmos Purity. Look how leggy it is. It's terrible, but should be okay. And I will buy some Cosmos as well from my local plant nursery. So as we get closer to the last frost date, I'll go to my local plant nursery and I'll pick up some annuals, because I do like to do that as well. I don't want to sow everything from seed. I like to support my local horticultural shops, you know, garden centres and nurseries, because if we don't use it, we lose it. So yeah, so here we've got some more that my dad gave me. We've got some Brussels sprouts and some cabbage and a cauliflower. And then here, these are the sunflowers. So I was a bit late sowing these, but they're coming up now. I think there's going to be one popping up there, isn't there? Oh, yeah, leave them alone. Leave them alone. And the varieties that I've grown are Hello, Black Magic and Evening Sun. And I've done 4 of each. So yeah, they're looking pretty good. Or they will be soon, hopefully. Down here, I've got Amimagus, Nigella and Straw Flowers. The straw flowers in the middle there were given to me by my dad. So I've only just got around to pricking them out and potting them up in this. This compost looks awful, if I'm honest. But they're okay. They're very small seedlings, so... And then these are the same again, but these are for my parents. So I've potted those on for them. So hopefully they'll like them. Then I've got courgettes. My parents grew these for me, and I really need to get these out of this pot, so we don't cause too much damage when we're separating them. I normally just grow 1 per pot, but my parents do it like this, and they always have success, so I'm not knocking it. Then we've got these. These are Maureen. These are lettuces. Now, they were really not doing anything, and I potted them on, and they've just put so much growth on. They're absolutely massive compared to what they were a couple of days ago, so that's looking good. And my sweet corn, which I am thinking looks great. There's only one that looks a bit iffy there, but yeah, these are looking great. I can't remember the variety. Oh, Stowell's Evergreen or Stowell's Evergreen. So yeah, they're looking good. I think we've got 24. Got another little one coming up there. Now, I only really needed, well, anything over 9 was good. And I don't think for 1 second that the bed, we're going to grow these in the biggest bed I've got, which is the brick raised bed by the elders at the back. And I think it's 1.4 metres deep. So I'm really pushing it to get 3 rows in there, because you want them to be ideally 2 foot apart. We are going to have to make that a little bit less of a distance and have them a little bit closer together than we'd ideally have. But yeah, I think these would more than fill that bed actually. So we will see. We've got chard. Again, that's put on some growth that needs watering. That's put on some good growth since I potted it up. And long red Florence, which still needs to grow in her own, be pricked out and go in their own module trays. And then the Verbena bonariensis I've sowed, which is looking good actually. I'm really happy to get so many. I know it self-seeds so freely, but I don't find that we get that much self-seeding in my garden, unfortunately. I'm probably weeding them out when I'm not realising what they are, but they are pretty distinctive. You've got that little purple veining in the middle, so yeah. So next, tomatoes that I've grown from seed. Now they're not looking great, are they? These are my hanging basket ones. So these are Totem and Cherry Falls. So I've got 10 of the Totem and 9, annoyingly, of the Cherry Falls. These have got too cold really, but they're doing better now they're in here, and obviously we've had a few days of really warm weather, so but the temperature's cooling down a lot again, so we'll see how they get on. So these are the other ones. These are the fancy varieties, if you like, and it's growing these that made me realise I needed some of the good old staples, really. So we've got Burlesque F1, Heinz 1350. That is the best that we got out of the Heinz germination. They germinated, but man, did they look poor. I really think that's a tomato that does not like cooler temperatures. Anyway, yeah, we've got Lithium Sunset, Indigo Rose, Gigantilicio, Sergeant Peppers, Black Strawberry, Crushed Heart, Brad's Atomic Grape, Rebel Starfighter Prime, Blue Beauty, Paul Robeson, Alice's Dream, and Ozark Sunrise. And I was really brave because I only want 1 of each. I only grew 2, and I only sowed 2, and then I've only potted on 1 to save space. I don't know if I'm going to regret that. But here we are. So it's done. So hopefully these will put on a good amount of growth. These have been potted on about 3 days now, and they have more than doubled in size. So I'm really happy with how things are going now. Now, not much to see here, but we have got cucumbers. We've got Chinese Slangen and Carmen. Now I know I said that I might not grow any more cucumbers because I'd got La Diva from Brenda, and I've got 5 of them. But actually I do really like Carmen. They're a really good large cucumber, and the Chinese Slangen are an outdoor variety. And I'm also going to grow Marketmore, which are a great reliable outdoor variety, because I like to make cucumber soup. I've mentioned it a few times before, and I think we could probably grow them against the wall at the allotment. So I think we'll do that as well. Then these are my courgettes. They haven't come up yet. So we've got Soleil and Summer Sun. And then here we've got beans. So these are tunny beans, and they are old seed. So I'm not sure whether we'll get them coming up or not. Although that one there does look like it could be breaking ground, maybe. I don't know. We'll see. But down here we've got beans that are coming up. So these are a dwarf bush bean that is from Brittany in France, and it's called Coco de Paimpol. Now, I think it's one of those plants that it's technically only called that if it's grown in that specific place. So it does have another name, which I will put at the bottom of the screen because I don't know it offhand. But yeah, so they should come up. I'm hoping that they'll still come up despite the weather being a bit cooler. It's got to 9.1 overnight in the greenhouse. That's the lowest in the last week or so. But it is going to be 10 degrees maximum tomorrow here, so it's going to be about 4 overnight. So we'll see how things go. But yes, I'm very happy with how things are going. I think I forgot to show you my celery, which is way at the back there. I should have it at the front, shouldn't I? Because it's so small, it should be at the front, so I don't forget about it. But it's slow growing, so it's a long way off needing to do anything with it just yet. Oh yeah. So this is how I've organised it so far. So those 2 boxes on the floor there are my compost. I've got seeds compost, and then I've got a number 2 follow-on potting on compost. I don't normally use seed and potting on compost, but I've tried it this year, and it seems to be quite good. The potting on compost particularly, because my aubergines and chilies have been in the same small pot for weeks now, and they're looking good. I think they really do need to be potted on now though. So I'm going to have a lot of space taken up by them. And then I've just got a box full of module trays and things like that. My harvest baskets, some houseplant compost. That's my little bowl of compost that I'm using. Some more module trays and propagator lids and things in there. But if I show you outside, we've still got plenty to put away. So because I'm going to grow some tomatoes and cucumbers at home, I am going to need some of these pots, but I'm not sure which ones yet, how many. There's some more under there as well. They are bigger than they look. We've got things like my feeds and my little vintage tins. These were my grandma's. I don't use them for anything, but I really should. Watering cans, my vermiculite, things like that. These are my dad's container-wise containers that I'm not allowed to steal, honestly. Canes and things. I don't want to keep the canes here because in the garden, because my kids are, dangerous. I've got some more module trays I've forgotten about. Can't forget about these because these are actually really good. These are the root trainers that come apart, and they're really, really good. Not the cheapest ones, but they'll last a long time. You can just feel that they will. And then a few more propagator lids and things we need to sort out. I've got some new lawn seed for this lawn because the grass doesn't grow so well here, and I think it's because of the shade. Because that's south, so south by southwest here. So this is a north-facing border, so it blocks the sun from this part here. But yeah, look at this. My geranium Summer Sky is one of my favourites. Is coming into flower now. It's going to be lovely. But yeah, would have been lovely if it was flowering at the same time as the wisteria, but you can't have it all, can you? You really can't have it all. And let's not forget these guys over here. These have all put on quite a lot of growth since I potted them on as well. Which makes me realise I should have potted those other brassicas on that are in module trays as well. But yeah, I've watered these today. They dry out very quickly, this compost, it really does. So yeah, we've got all sorts of different ones. These are kohlrabi purple Vienna. These ones are going in that bed that doesn't have any soil in, that just has compost at the allotment. Got some herbs. There's my grape. I called it a fig the other day. It's a grape. My figs are already at the plot. Different kinds of brassicas. Calendula. Still haven't done my cornflowers. They're going to really need to be done now. Some different plants on here for the garden. Why can't I think of that name? Alstroemeria. My onions are doing really well since I potted them on, so I really should get those long red Florence ones done, and more calendula. This one's gone a bit weird. I don't know what's happened to this one. If one of my youngest maybe has yanked it out, I don't think that's going to do well now. Might as well. Oh, it looks like it's been eaten. Can you see that? It's like the stem's been eaten. Anyway, never mind. I've got 49 now. I think that'll still be enough. That's a perennial sunflower. And yeah, oh, and look at my rose, my pink rose that is now white again. It's got a very pale pink tone to it. It is really, really lovely. Look at that one. That one's almost like peachy blush. Lots of green fly about at the moment. But yeah, it's lovely. So this was £12 from Tesco. It smells really nice. It's not very strong fragrance, but it's very typically rose fragrance. It's really, really lovely. And I've just sort of mulched them all with manure. Oh, and look at my Aqualesia is flowering. Looking nice. Let's see if I can focus on it. I know not everybody likes these. Some people view them as weeds, but I like it. And so does this little bumblebutt in there. Little bumblebum. There. Can we get you? There we go. Ooh. Look at him. He's happy in there, isn't he? Oop. I'm not a flower. Does anybody else remember these from their childhood? I absolutely love this. I saw this in a charity shop a few years ago, and it was a £5, and I could not resist it. It's in bad shape now, I must admit, but it just needs sanding down and all this paint getting off and repainting, sorry. But I love it so much because it reminds me of one. My grandma had the same one, different colour. I can't remember the colour of it actually. She had one when I was growing up, and I absolutely loved it because the legs tuck in. And when my brothers and I were little, we would sit on this seat with our legs through there, and we'd have our lunch when we'd go to my grandma's house, to my gangans. And yeah, as soon as I saw this in a charity shop for £5, I knew I had to have it. So it does need some work, and maybe this year we'll get that done. Get it all sanded down and painted and get it looking nice again. It needs new seals for the bottom as well because the rubber's deteriorated, and yeah. But yeah, I love it. There you go. So Mark's been up this morning and this is what he's done, which looks great. However, this is £80 worth of landscape bark, and it's not gone far. But when I got here, I realised when I saw the bags that it's the wrong stuff. So he's gone to the garden centre, he's paid for the right stuff. They didn't have any of the right stuff in stock, and they've had this on the wrong pallet. So these are actually 50 litre bags. So basically it's the same price, 2 for 18, but they're half the size bags. So yes, so as much as it's very nice and it's really big stuff, I mean look at the sort of size of it, it's not what we need. So but we're stuck with it because it's down. So we've been to the garden centre he got it from, told somebody the mistake so that they know that 10 bags of it on their system, there's 10 bags of the wrong stuff gone, and they didn't have any of the right stuff in stock. So we've just been to another branch at Huddersfield and bought 12 bags of the correct stuff, which is 100 litre bags of landscape bark. So I'm going to spread this out a bit thinner over this whole area, and then we're gonna put the other stuff down. I haven't got long now though, because doing that has taken up all my childcare time. So yes, so I'll just have a go at dragging this out and getting it thinned, and then we'll put the other stuff down. Right, so there we go. So the two different types of bark actually go well together, they're fine. I mean, yeah, I can see a difference, but I don't think people just visiting would. Not that we're doing this for visitors, we're doing it for us. But it has taken an awful lot of wood chip. It's taken 1,600 litres to do this. Mark's back will tell you that, because he's had to carry it all. But yeah, it looks good. So there's a thick layer of it because we want it to suppress the weeds, and there is cardboard under the majority of it. We didn't have enough cardboard for every bit, but the majority of it's got cardboard under. But yeah, I'm really liking how it's looking. So now we just need to save up again, because this has ended up costing £200, which was not what we expected it to cost. So yeah, so we've got this bit to do all on here yet as well, so, and into the original area down there. So yeah, we're very happy with how it looks. So I'm really loving how the brassica cage area looks. We call it the brassica cage area because that's what used to be there. We need to come up with a better idea, because at the moment it's either that or it's the little area and the big area. So I suppose that one makes more sense. So obviously that wood chip cost considerably more. We were expecting to pay 80 quid for the whole plot, and it was £190 for about 2/5 of it. So we do need to get some for the other side now, but because of the cost, it's probably going to be a few weeks before we can do that. But also, something's arrived and I'm very excited about it. It's bigger than I expected it to be. Can you see it? It's the pond. It's the pond. And yes, it's a 50-litre pond. It is the dimensions that it said it was. I know, you know, how much that... I know what those measurements mean, but somehow it still seems bigger when I've got it. So I'm very excited. So that's going to go at the back left hand side of the plot, or against the wall and our neighbour's fence, the fence with the neighbour. So I'm excited to start on that, but because it's quite a bit deeper than we were expected, there's quite a lot more digging and prep that's going to be needed. And I want to do my research properly and know what to plant in it. I want to go and get some pond plants, and yeah, there's not going to be any fish though, don't worry, there's no fish going in there. It's purely for wildlife. And I do like it actually, I'll show you again, because it has got slopes in it. Can you see, where is it? Oh, it's there. Oh, opposite end. Here, it's got a slope. Now I think it is quite slippy, it will be slippy, so I will put some big stones in there, because we've got lots of massive big stones that we've uncovered from the plot, so we will do that. So yeah, I'm excited to get going on that one. And I'm absolutely loving how the greenhouse looks now. It's so organised, I can get in there and do the jobs I need to do and get back out again. Still lots of pricking out and putting on to be done. Really should get on with some of that this week. But yeah, so thank you so much for being with us this week. I hope you've enjoyed this week's video. It's been a bit different, a bit longer than normal. And yeah, I hope you have a great gardening week, and I will see you next week. Bye for now.